Today I want to show you an application that we've been working on in order to accelerate digital products into governments. This can be extended to other areas, but we're starting with the governments and their specific areas that they have for when they build out digital products. I want to start with a demonstration of the Digital Product Factory for government agencies. And we have 4 types of apps that you can build in here. Each of these apps that we're going to kick off will be the shell for the digital product itself. You can pick from a service request management. So these are regular service requests into government, more of a generic topic. Then we have information requests that satisfy the FOIA requirements. We have DHS service desks, which is an all-encompassing service around a specific social program, for example. We also have up here one I skipped, manage licenses and permits. For today's demonstration, I'm going to show you one agency that would come in here and they might say that I want to go ahead and create a new DHS service desk. This isn't only to get applications for a service, but it's also to dispute applications, ask questions about applications. There's 2 sides to this service desk. There's a side where I have very specific IT requirements, doing enhancement requests and incidents. And then there's another side where I have to deliver this to my constituents. This application will encompass all those pieces together. The first thing we need to do is pick a developer. And generally this is going to be somebody in that DHS area, because this is a citizen developer prototype that we're building so that that citizen developer can extend the application to what they need and actually make it fit for their program. One of the ones I'm working on right now is CWIP. So they have these program names, CWIP, SNAP, TANF, a couple of those, even Medicaid. They could be different ones that they request. When I go ahead and run this, the idea for me is to take this process that's typically very long to get a prototype for a product. This may take anywhere between 6 and 18 months just to get something that I could see. The idea behind this one is to get it to that agency in 15 minutes from when they requested it. I submitted this catalog item. And then that catalog item, after I submitted it, it went and it is going to send me an email and it's going to say when my product is built. And after the product is built, I'll take you through certain pieces where we can discuss what was actually built as it came in. These are the steps we're going through in order. What we just did, we submitted a request into the Digital Product Factory. It's now running workflows on the back end to go ahead and create that application. And this is the workflow that's going to send me the email. It's invoking a product template. So in this case, we had a DHS service desk template, but it may have been a licensing and permitting template, or it may have been an information request template. But the idea here is that you'll build one or more services in each of these applications. When it's built, it's going to go ahead and configure itself. So it's going to rename some things in there. So that once that agency gets it, it's ready to go. They don't have to do a lot of configuration. All the way down till the end where we go ahead and we create the directory structure for the agents that will be receiving requests. And that's basically what we're wrapping together in the box. You see I have an email that just arrived. And this is from my submission. If I go into this email, it says, we built your digital product. And this is going to be the developer in the agency. So what it's saying is that your CWIP product is now ready. Go ahead here if you want to see some of the products in the Employee Center. You can go here if you want to edit those products. I'm going to skip that for now and not log in as that user and just stay in as my user. If you look at the directory you started in, there was 3 top-line services. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and I'm going to log back in just so I can clear my cache. And now what you'll see is you should see a 4th. So you see now program support. For every program we support, anybody that builds through the template will be able to open up program support and go to CWIP. On the support side of the service, to go ahead and configure that application. So I want to change the product name, or I want to go ahead and rename an existing service desk. I want to create a new service desk service if I want to add on to it. All these different things that you can do to go ahead and further add services into your CWIP product. If I have a problem with CWIP, automatically what will happen here is you'll have a way to report a service interruption, and it will send it for CWIP. It'll tag it as CWIP and it'll send it into your queue so that your incident team can work on it. Last thing it does on the support side, before we get into this delivery side, is it's going to do a CWIP enhancement request. People can enter simple enhancement requests with some details, and now this goes to your development team to say, how do we want to further improve the CWIP service that we're delivering? That's on the delivery side and what we created out of the box just by submitting that catalog item. You don't have to build record producers. You don't have to worry about the fields. We gave you the default fields. But if you want to edit that, so if you go back to your email and I click on, you can edit this form here, this will take you into the App Engine Studio area where you're able to make changes. Let's say I wanted to go in and I wanted to add a field, right? So now I'm in the CWIP application. I wanted to add a field to my enhancement request form. I can take my create a CWIP enhancement request. I can open that up. I can come down to questions and I can add another field. This is the out-of-the-box government service portal. Now, if I go up to services, what you'll see is underneath social benefits, there's now a plus here. I added the social benefits CWIP services. And if you go into CWIP services, I only have one application in there now. So what I can do is I can go ahead and put the application and I'd be able to fill out my first name, my last name, and submit that application. Right? And I'm even requiring an attachment here. So if in this case, sometimes you'll have printed applications. Now I could upload that application, I could submit this, and now I send that printed application that can be parsed by our AI. I can send that over to the social benefits team. Now what it also did with my application is it set up my social benefit model. So here I had SNAP. If I refresh, you'll see it created a CWIP product model for me. This way I could attach that product model to all of my CWIP applications or my questions. So that product model is a way to create the top-down services that we're delivering. It also created my business service, right? And this is more on my support side. So all of my support functions like enhancement requests or incidents are all going to use this business service structure so that I route it to the right place. Okay, now the other thing that our application did, which also takes a lot of time. So what I just did in 15 minutes, it's going to take a vendor sometimes up to 2 weeks just to get you to this point. So we're very excited that we can get it out this quickly. The part that takes a long time frequently is configuring the agent side of the conversation. What we did is we configured the agent piece. So now we have a CWIP directory. If I go to all, I submitted that one CWIP application earlier, and I can now open up that CWIP application. So we're still working on some things to make sure we have a playbook that runs out of the box and other areas, but you can see the areas that I submitted as that end user. So very quickly, I have a functioning agent side, I have a functioning form on the front end, I have a functioning structure on the support side, and a functioning structure on the delivery side. Our idea is to continue to expand onto this into areas like playbooks so that we can make this as automated as possible. And you can get a prototype in 15 minutes instead of 6 to 18 months as it typically is in government. Thank you very much.